Well, the body for the Archtop mandolin is now complete, and the next stage will be to fit the neck. So here's the neck, a maple neck, laminated for extra strength and stability with some mahogany and rosewood veneers. The head, I always do a spliced head joint rather than cutting it out of one piece of wood. If you cut it out of one piece of wood, you end up with short grain in the head, which could foul if the instrument falls over. The head itself, I've got this beautiful piece of Brazilian rosewood for the head overlay, and I've inlaid my little end logo. I've used this time a piece of black mother of pearl. I didn't want it to be kind of too in your face, I wanted it to be a little bit subdued. And here you can see the slots, which eventually will have carbon fibre in them, and we'll look at that a bit later on. Okay, so the next job for me is to fit the neck to the body. The whole thing's just been roughly cut out at the moment, and I'm going to have to do quite a bit of fine tuning to get this mortise to fit into this pocket that I routed earlier. Right, pretty much there. So there we have it. The neck is glued onto the body. Just this minute being glued on, and it's just sitting there waiting for the glue to set. It's a nice tight joint, so I don't need to use any clamps, and you can see that part of the tenon has been removed to allow a gap between the neck and the top plate for the fingerboard extension. And also you can see how big actually that tenon is, so you get a massive amount of surface area for gluing. Okay, so what you can see here then is the maple neck and these two pieces of mahogany which make up the fretboard extension, and that's pretty much the traditional way of doing this. I've got two slots in the neck. That takes some carbon fibre, and carbon fibre is definitely my preferred way of reinforcing, stiffening, whatever you want to call it, my mandolin necks. However, I don't think it's enough to just have the carbon fibre in the neck itself. You've got essentially three pieces of wood and two wood joints, and really where you have differing pieces of wood and joints, you run the risk of some sort of instability. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue this slot through this first piece and down to about here. So the carbon fibre is really going to run the full length of the neck, and it's going to tie everything together to produce an incredibly stiff, stable neck. Okay, so here we are then. You can see that the neck has now been glued to the body, the fretboard extension in place, 2 pieces of carbon fibre running the whole length of the neck and into the fretboard extension, and I've got this lovely Brazilian rosewood fretboard, and that's glued in place. As far as the aesthetics of the instrument are concerned, now the fretboard has been glued on, you can see that the asymmetrical design is starting to make sense. Well, the next step then will be to work on the fretboard, and you can see that in the next episode. So thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and we'll see you soon.